No one saw this movie becoming one of the best films of the year. Let's talk about Godzilla Minus One. Now, I've watched all the Godzilla movies that the U.S. studio has been putting out. The Godzilla vs. Kong, Godzilla, King of Monsters. I've seen all of those, and I've never been a huge fan of them. I do love the Godzilla scenes where he's fighting monsters. Who doesn't love seeing CGI monsters fight each other and destroying the city? I do love that. But when it came to the human characters, it always took me out of it. I wish I enjoyed those movies more, especially King Kong vs. Godzilla. I hate to say it, but I did not like that movie. And I'm a huge fan of King Kong. So when I heard that a Japanese studio was making Godzilla Minus One, I was like, how will it be different from the American ones? Because I thought I've seen it all when it comes to a Godzilla movie, and turns out I was very wrong. I've never been so glad of being so wrong, because this movie was a straight up masterpiece. This movie is probably the best monster movie I've ever seen since King Kong 2005. But wow, Godzilla Minus One was a master class on how to do a monster movie and have incredible characters. Because the movie stars this incredibly unique character. Our main character in Godzilla Minus One is a kamikaze pilot who refuses to follow through his job. And when he fakes a malfunction on his plane, he discovers Godzilla. And after that, the movie kind of like puts Godzilla to the side for a bit. And you know, you would think for a monster movie that has Godzilla in the title, that would be a bad thing, but turns out it wasn't. The character development in this movie was masterful. It was flawless. I cared about every single character and the adversity that these characters faced throughout the movie. And you ended up caring about not just their survival through the film, but also their survival internally and psychologically. And that is a very difficult thing to do, especially when it's a monster movie, because there are so many things that need to be resolved. Besides just survival, there are multiple different messages throughout this movie that make you think about life. I did not think a Godzilla movie was gonna make me think about life. That is a rare thing to do, and that's because this movie sticks to what Godzilla stands for as a metaphor. It uses that allegory, those metaphors, and brings it to this movie. And that is why you end up with these incredible characters, because it all feels very real. These characters don't feel like caricatures. They feel like real people. I honestly could have seen a film without Godzilla and just watched their lives. It was just that's good. A good way to put this movie is go to the movie to see Godzilla, but stay in the theater to watch these incredible characters. The writers of this movie did a phenomenal job. I would urge everyone to give this movie a try. Coming from a person who's not a huge fan of Godzilla, I enjoyed and loved this movie so much. It's one of my top movies of the year, and I didn't even expect it to be that good. The hype is more than real. You probably already heard many people praising this movie, and they are all right. This movie is incredible. It's perfect. It's a perfect monster movie. I'm not sure we will ever get another movie like this. Who knows? Maybe there are some writers there looking at how they made this movie, because this movie is truly a milestone in the monster disaster movie genre, because this is how you do it. This is a perfect version of that genre. I highly recommend this movie, and this is a movie that whenever it comes out on Blu-ray, I'm gonna go buy it and add it to my collection, because it's just wow, it's just that good. It's just that good. Go to the movie theaters and go watch Godzilla Minus One.